Yo, what's going on with y'all boys, man? We're here back again for another video, another late night react. It's currently 12:43 right now. And I was gonna make this video way earlier on today, but it wouldn't be a late night react if it was during the daytime. So, I was gonna record this video, well, when I decided to wait. I was gonna start recording like an hour ago, which means I would have been done and editing the video by now. But my camera decided to say it was charging, but it wasn't actually charging. But it's charged now. So, we here. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe if y'all want to see more videos like this. And let's get into the react. Alright y'all, so today's video, we're gonna be reacting to the Lindsey Clancy case explained. Now, I've heard a lot about this case on TikTok. If y'all don't know the gist of the story, it was about a mother who had like mental problems, and she basically ended up her 3 children. So, before I make any judgment on this, I wanted y'all to see me do it on a YouTube video.
You see, Lindsey Clancy has a problem. She's currently on trial for premeditatively her 3 kids. Now, the word premeditatively is the key word here. It basically means she thought about it, she planned it, she did it. The defense said that's a damn lie. She did it. She just didn't plan to do it. She was going through psychosis at the time. See, this case is a little more complicated than it may seem, but first, we gotta understand what happened. You see...
Okay. So, before he gets into this is, well, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's postpartum psychosis. I hear a lot of women talking about that nowadays on TikTok, especially with a lot of things going on. And I have no idea how deep that is, because I'm not a woman. I've never been pregnant or anything like that, obviously. But I hear it a lot, and it's a real thing. I'm gonna just say this. I think it's a real thing. But for it to be on this deep of a level, it has to be something along with that. Like your postpartum psychosis had to go along with something else. So I'm gonna just say off the rip that I think that she did this because there's something mentally wrong with her. But I'm not excusing what she did, and I think she still does deserve jail time for 3 children.
Patrick, who was Lindsey's husband at the time, was working from home. After he finished working, he said, "Look, Lindsey, we don't got time to cook, so you want me to go pick something up?" Lindsey said, "Yes, absolutely." So as Patrick's leaving, Lindsey texts him at 5:15 p.m. Remember that time. "One of our 3 kids needs medicine from the CVS. Can you pick it up on your way to get food?" He said, "Bet." So Patrick goes to the CVS, picks up the medicine for the kids. He calls Lindsey, says, "Hey, is this the right thing?" She says, "Yeah." He goes to the restaurant, picks up the food, drives home. When he gets to his house, this is a model of his house, by the way, everything was quiet. He said that's a little weird, so he starts calling out to everybody, his kids and Lindsey. Nobody answers. Eventually...
All right. So based off that alone, if you were to say that it's premeditated, I don't blame you, because I thought the same thing when I was first seeing this. Because, him asking, "Oh, do you want me to go get food?" And then him going out and doing that, and then him coming back to a quiet house while he has 3 kids. I don't know, man. It's kind of suspicious to me. But let me know what y'all think in the comments.
Finds Lindsey outside on the floor. He asked her what happened. She said she tried it herself. He said, "Okay, where are the kids?" She said they're in the basement. So Patrick goes to the basement and finds the 3 kids.
Hey, man.
Calls the police. Police pull up. Everyone is in agreement of what happened. Patrick said, "That happened." Lindsey said, "That did happen." Prosecutor said, "That happened." Police said, "That happened." Lindsey's defense said, "Yeah, everything Patrick said happened." People are even in agreement about what happened before that took place. Lindsey said, I was very, very depressed. I was experiencing psychosis. I was seeking help from mental health professionals, from everyone around her. Patrick said she was. She absolutely was. Her defense says, yes, she was. The mental health professionals come out and say, yeah. She called me. We prescribed her this. She was absolutely seeking help. Everyone's in agreement with that. But the twist is the defense is saying, well, you see that she was seeking all of this help. That's why she was experiencing a lot of mental health issues. And the prosecution is saying, no. That's just an excuse. The kids, because she wanted to. Now that you know what happened, here's where things start to get wicked. I'm going to give you facts. We about to...
All right. So, my take on this so far, man, it's a lot of things that you got to unpack here, because she was trying to get help, sure. But I think no matter how much stress and stuff that you're experiencing at the moment, that's no excuse to off your kids, man. It's no excuse to do that. No excuse at all. And it's sick. He's saying all this stuff, how, yeah, everybody, that's got something involved with it, they're agreeing, like, yeah, this happened. What the dude said, what her husband said is true. I go on TikTok and I look in the comments. It's a bunch of middle-aged women in there talking about, oh, we're on her side and she didn't do this and stuff like that. The lady who did it admitted that she did it. See, the thing is, y'all are so desensitized from watching all this true crime and all this other stuff like Law and Order, and y'all are expecting that plot twist. This is real life, bro. Wake up.
The nitty gritty of it. First fact, Lindsey, when she tried it herself, it involved her jumping from a high place. She's paralyzed from the waist down because of it. The defense said, you see that she tried it herself for real. She really has mental health issues. The prosecution said, I don't know. She was getting help. Like, what y'all mean? This right here is one of the people that was helping her. The defense said, well, I'm glad you brought this person up, because the help she was getting is actually the problem. The defense goes to this psychiatrist lady. I forgot her name. The defense said, okay, all the stuff you was giving her, like, was it working? She said, I mean, we was working on it. It wasn't quite. So he said, you didn't do your job for real. That was basically the psychiatrist's argument with the defense. And it was really intense. He was damn near cussing her out, talking about, I found a mistake on your paperwork. What's going on with that? She said, you trying to make it seem like I'm stupid. It was just like a typo. He said, a typo? Ooh, a typo. She said, ooh, you rage baited me. The judge had to come in. He said, hey, y'all got to chill. Not in my courtroom. The defense said, oh, so you making
All right. So excuse all this that he's talking about. I'm pretty sure, like, for somebody to be in a bad mental state and then go seek therapy for that, it takes time. It's not something that's going to happen instantly. So I'll give him that.
You prescribing her whatever, this and that. We just giving her whatever we want. Matter of fact, give me another psychiatrist. Next psychiatrist, pull up. Next psychiatrist, pull up. Defense said, so what was you prescribing her? This, that, and the third? He said, defense, next psychiatrist. He started calling psychiatrists out. Turns out she had like 13 prescriptions. Another psychiatrist pull up, said, yeah, she did pull up and say she wanted a. So she said it was getting real bad. The defense said, okay, so what did y'all do? Psychiatrist said, well, we didn't do anything. The defense said, excuse me? Yeah, they said, yeah, the rules state that you got to have a plan about yourself before we can actually commit you to something. But, I sent her some resources, and the defense said, where are the resources you sent her? I said, you know what? I actually didn't send her resources. So you could probably see where Lindsey's defense is coming from. They're saying, look, the mental health system failed her. In fact, Lindsey and her defense have a separate civil case where they're suing.
It's no excuse to children.
Many people in the mental health system. The prosecution is saying, nah, that still wouldn't have drove her to her kids. That part she did on purpose. She might have had mental health issues, but bad enough to, she did that on purpose. You could see by the text she's sending people, like she seemed that she was sound of mind. Like she did it on purpose. And that's pretty much the case that's going on. Now, you'll notice that nowhere in this video that I mentioned the husband, Patrick, being the culprit, because that is absolutely not the focus of this case by the defense or the prosecution. But let's talk about why people believe that he might be. See, if you remember earlier, I told you Patrick was working.
Yeah.
He leaves the house to go get medicine for the kid at CVS, and he goes to get takeout, right?
Okay.
Well, he left the house, remember this number, hey, coincidence, it's actually 5:15 right now. He left the house at 5:15. The CVS is about 3 minutes away from their house. The cameras catch Patrick walking into the CVS at 5:32. He leaves the house 5:15. It's 3 minutes away. He gets there at 5:32. The mathematics ain't adding up. People online are saying, oh, that's weird. But in the actual trial, they didn't really seem to care. Because remember, that's not the defense's argument. That's not the prosecution's argument. But they did ask him about it. The prosecutor told him, look, why did it take you so long to get from your house to the CVS? He said, I don't know. The defense pulled up and said, no, we got this prosecution. Look, Patrick, we're not saying you did it, but we really need to get to the bottom of this because we got something else over here. It says that you sent an email to your job at 5:24. You leave your house at 5:15. An email gets sent at 5:24. Does that mean you were still at the crib? Like, what's going on for real? Patrick said, bro, I don't know. I might have sent the email from my iPhone, but I know I didn't leave the house that late. I might have sent it from my, I don't know. I don't remember. That's a little weird. But regardless, the defense did not follow up on this. Now, people also noticed the husband, Patrick, seemed to have changed his clothes. He seemed to have changed his jacket from a short button down to like a longer button down because he's also caught in surveillance in the restaurant. In the restaurant, his shoes seem different and his jacket seems like it has a zipper that pulls down lower. Here's a closer look at his shoes when he was in the restaurant versus the CVS. His shoes seem different, and again, they're saying the jacket seems different. Defense.
I think this is just it's just a quality difference in the cameras. I don't know if y'all seen, but he had the white underlining in his shoes, which are literally right here. They're right here. I don't know, man. It looked like a quality difference to me, but hey, I wasn't there.
Not follow up on this. They're maintaining this has nothing to do with their case. They're pleading that Lindsey absolutely did it, but she was going through psychosis. People also claim that this might be one of Patrick's friends walking to the CVS, and this might be Patrick going into the restaurant after he finished in the kids. And now that I look at this picture a little closer, do these two people seem to have different hairstyles to you? Okay, but regardless, that's neither here nor there. The defense is saying, we don't care about the hair, we don't care about the clothes, we don't care about this, that, and the third. The defense and the prosecution maintain we are both in agreement about what happened, Lindsey and the 3 kids. We're just not in agreement on why it happened. But regardless of who you think did it, the question of the trial is, can she be held responsible for her kids, even though she was crying out for help, constantly explaining to people that her mental health was really, really, really deteriorating? And
I think, me personally, I think that there's no excuse. I mean, you're going to therapy. You have a husband. I was seeing some stuff on TikTok about how the husband had left her and stuff like that, and they're trying to blame the new wife. Stop it. I ain't even gonna go into that rabbit hole, bro. But I think no matter how deep you are into into a horrible mental state, you don't go and off your offspring, bro. You don't do that. I know y'all heard that voice crack, but you don't do that, man. That's just something you don't do. Like, if I was to have a kid, and let's say I'm a single father, by example, the mother left me, I'm getting no support, and I'm mentally going through it. That doesn't make me wanna. It doesn't make me wanna harm myself or my child. That's just something that you gotta push through. You gotta deal with it. I know it sounds harshful, but that's just something you gotta deal with. Hey, but who knows, bro? I'm only 17.
A question the jury has to ask, and that's a question I want to ask you. What do you think? Let me know. And truly, rest in peace to those 3 kids, because I feel like they're forgotten in all of this, but they should be mentioned first and foremost. Rest in peace to the 3 kids.
All right, y'all boys, man. That was the video for today. If y'all have any thoughts, anything, leave it in the comments. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications. And watch out for more content like this. I love y'all, appreciate y'all, grateful for y'all, and I'll see y'all next video.